Okay, so this would be the present, the here, the now energy. We have Four of Wands in the reverse position. So I automatically, whether this card is in the upright position or the reverse position, I always associate this card as be grateful for what you do have. No matter how big or how small, do take time to acknowledge all of the blessings in your life and be grateful for them. No matter how bad things may appear, we always have blessings. You know, I've had so many people say, I don't have anything good, and they literally start emailing me about their whole entire life and how it's just been total and utter shit. And, but yet they fail to see, are you still breathing? Yep, that's a blessing. Are you healthy? Yep, that's a blessing. Are you eating dinner tonight? Yep, that's a blessing. You know? So some people need to be reminded that the small things really do matter just as much as the large things. And another thing about this is the more that we tend to acknowledge that we do have blessings, no matter how bad our situation may be, if we can acknowledge that we do have blessings and we are grateful and thankful for what we do have, then like magic, we can literally attract more good things to come our way. When we're in a situation where negativity is dominating, this is where we need to try to refocus our thoughts, because thoughts are things, people. Every thought contains energy. And if we're thinking negative things, well, we can create a self-fulfilling prophecy. So if we refocus our thoughts on the positive things and being grateful for the things that we do have, then like magic, we can attract more good things to come to us. Now, beyond that, the Four of Wands in reverse, this could indicate that there could be some unhappiness in the home, perhaps, or maybe a bit of unsettledness. For some, you could be experiencing issues within the home. You may need repairs to your home or something in your home. This could be something like structural repairs. So, especially for those of you who may be getting a house built or, say, remodeling a home, you definitely want to be careful under this type of energy. And it would definitely be good to get another expert out, and a second, a third opinion, whatever it may be. It never hurts to have, a couple opinions, because especially if you are having like a house built or a house, remodeled, you don't want to run into a costly mistake. So if you can prevent that, do what you can to get someone else out to take a look at the problem and assess it, and you might be able to save some money in the long run. Now, some of you could be experiencing, say, some hard times with your home life in general. Some of you could be experiencing, say, a child leaving. So, there could be like a bit of empty nest syndrome. This card can also indicate that the honeymoon phase to one's marriage is definitely over. So, yeah, this can be interpreted many different ways, but in general, this card definitely indicates that there's something that's off at the home level, So, the family may not be getting along. You may be having something breaking or needing maintenance in your home. Something may need fixed. But overall, like I said, let's be grateful for everything we do have, because this can counteract some of the negativity. So to clarify, we have the Two of Coins in the reverse position. So this would definitely indicate that you would be juggling way too many different things. This is someone that would have too many irons in the fire, so to speak. And that doesn't work out well. Because when this is in the reverse, you really need to make a decision and make the things that you have to deal with of a financial net. You need to pick something and make it the priority. This is not the time to be trying to juggle 5 different jobs or, whatever it may be. This is about juggling finances, so you could be juggling your finances literally. Maybe you're trying to make ends meet. Maybe you're trying to juggle between what should I do? What should I improve in my home? Maybe some of you have 2-3 jobs, and maybe that might be causing some upset in the home. But there is a need to pick. You need to narrow things down, because you need to pick something and concentrate more of your energy upon it, so that you can at least make one particular thing more successful for you. And then in no time, you'll be able to get this back to the upright position. See, this is the wonderful thing about having free will, is by simply just, changing, one little thing. So you got 2 different jobs, but, you make more money at this one, and you actually have benefits at this one, and this one's just a part-time. Do away with that part-time. Focus on the bread and butter job, because it could be causing problems at home, Maybe you're not there enough. It could be many different things, so. Okay, so this would be the near future. Here we have the 3 of Cups in the reverse position. So this can indicate that there could have been an upset. This upset could have been caused by some thoughtless words and actions. It could be on your part. It could be on someone else's part. So you could be the giver or the receiver of this energy, and this is the near future. So a lot of times when the 3 of Cups in the reverse comes up, there can be a problem within a friendship. There can be a problem within a relation, like a romantic relationship, a marriage, or it could be friendship, or it could be between co-workers, but, you would be friends with them. But there is something that happens that causes, hurt feelings. This can also indicate that if you're hoping for a reconciliation, that it's not likely. It is not likely under this energy. But the upside here is that there's always a chance. If you happen to be the one to say some awful things and you have time to think on it, and perhaps maybe you realize that was a little hard, I didn't really mean as everything I said. So you may owe someone an apology, which could go a long way towards potentially being able to reconcile. But it's just not possible as it sits right now. So again, you may owe someone an apology, or someone might owe you an apology. This can go either way. Now, a lot of times with the 3 of Cups in reverse, we have issues of gossip come up, and we have issues of overindulgence, especially when it comes to alcohol. So those are the biggies. A lot of times gossip can come up. You may hear about gossip, or you could be the object of gossip. It can go either way. The overindulgence, definitely beware of that. If you like to partake in drinking, try to do so in moderation. All things in moderation are okay. Too much of anything is a bad thing. So make sure to not overindulge. And again, this could be actual alcohol, but this could also be indicating, prescription medication or recreational type of drugs as well. You don't want to overindulge because sometimes, especially under the influence of chemicals, it can make you say some things you normally wouldn't say. You might actually mean them, or you may not. So, yeah, be careful of that. Okay, so to clarify, we get the Ace of Swords. So, I love this card. Not everyone's a fan of this card, but me in particular, I am, because I am a huge fan of the truth. The Ace of Swords, this sword literally cuts through any and all bullshit, and you get to the truth of the matter. Again, excuse my French, but I can't help it. That's how I look at this card. This card will cut through all the crap and the truth is revealed, So this energy goes a long way with you getting the truth. So especially if there is gossip, say, about you, then this would be some good energy for you to get to the truth of the matter. And even if you're on the receiving end of being gossiped about, you can definitely defend yourself. No problem at all. Just try to be careful. Remember, it's a sword, so it cuts both ways. You don't want to be overly forceful, but you can absolutely defend yourself, and no problem at all there. Just don't be overly forceful. And with this type of energy, sometimes we can be a bit overly forceful with it. But hey, the truth is the truth, Even if you're a minority of one, if you're speaking the truth, then hey, continue on. I appreciate the truth. I want the whole truth and nothing but. But everyone's different, so to each his own. But yes, this is good energy that's coming in to help reveal the truth. And it's up to you if you want to reconcile with this other person. And again, you may need to apologize to someone, or someone may need to apologize to you. It can go either way. Okay, so this would be your attitude. Here we have the Five of Wands. So the Five of Wands typically is a card of conflict. But this card could also be indicating that you guys may be feeling very confused. This could also be indicating that you may feel that you're struggling. And, well, confusion will definitely bring struggles, that's for certain. But this is also a card of conflict. And sometimes the conflict can be one that's almost unexpected. It can kind of come out of nowhere for some, and for others, you just know it's coming, but sometimes it just happens at, the worst time possible. But especially if you've been having a lot of conflicts with someone in your life, this card is definitely indicating that it can feel like a never-ending conflict, and it's like the conflict goes for so long that you're just kind of like, why did this conflict even start? Because we've been through about 20 different things, argued about 20 different things. Why did this even start to begin with, So it could be a card of constant conflict. And the best way to deal with this is to just try to, sit down and work things out in a constructive way. But it's not always possible for everyone. But in general, I feel that a lot of you guys may be experiencing some confusion, some struggling, and you could be actually having conflict with others, or you could be having an inner conflict as well. And to clarify, we get the Nine of Swords in the reversed position. So the Nine of Swords in the reversed position shows that you've been through a loss, and you are now healing from this loss. Now, this loss could have been many different things. It could have been the loss of a relationship. Whether it be romantic or platonic. It could be, the loss of a relationship. It could also, this card can also be about surgery. So some of you could have had surgery. And with it being in the reverse position, this would definitely indicate that you were healing from it. But in general, this is a card where we experience loss. In the upright position, this is what I refer to as the nightmare card, because we can actually be plagued by nightmares, and then that can lead to sleepless nights because we're having nightmares. So we don't want to go to sleep, So sleepless nights, nightmares, but also tons of anxiety, stress, depression, definitely some tears. This card can indicate unfaithfulness, which the Three of Cups in reverse can also indicate a third-party situation that involves unfaithfulness. That'll resonate with some of you. It's not going to resonate with everyone, but that will resonate with some of you. But yes, this can indicate, that there was some unfaithfulness that took place within a relationship, and perhaps this may lead to you feeling confused and struggling, and most of all, why you are having conflicts. But in general, this can just be about going through a loss of some sort. Now, more times than not, this is something that takes place more within the mind. So for some of you, you could have been dealing with a stress disorder, anxiety disorder, maybe even a depression type of disorder. But with it in the reverse position, you are now getting better. It is a slow process, but getting better, recovering, and healing are taking place. It's just a bit of a slow process. So things will get better, even though it does not feel like it right now. But it will get better. So a loss is what brings the conflict, the confusion, and the struggles. Now, this is how other people see you. And here we have the Ace of Cups in the reverse position. So someone could be looking at you as you have iced them out, blocked them out of your emotions. Maybe someone is looking at you like you have no love in your heart for them, and maybe rightfully so. Everyone's experience is different, Some things are just unforgivable for some of us, and to each his own. But for some of you, this could also be indicating that perhaps your heart is not so open for love because there is a deep sense of distrust. Maybe you don't trust someone in particular with your heart and your vulnerability. Maybe you have a good reason to not trust, but maybe your lack of trust could also be stemming from fear. These are all possibilities. But the Ace of Cups in reverse also indicates a rushing out of emotions because the cup is now upside down. So everything in the cup just runs out, rushes out. So likewise with your emotions, you could have, threw them all out there real quick, and now you may be feeling empty, or someone may be looking at you like you are empty. Doesn't mean it's true, but everyone's perception is different. Okay, to clarify, we have the Six of Coins in the reverse position. So this card is about generosity. It's also a card about receiving a bonus or some type of charity, some help. A lot of times it's financial help or, financial assistance. But when it's in the reverse position, it shows that help that may be offered will have strings attached to it. So there could be offers where there are strings attached, or there could be an issue where you may be offered something, but it will be like a lot less than what you would expected or hoped for. Yeah, it can feel a bit unfair. I mean, sometimes this can actually indicate that there is an unfair distribution of someone's like will or their estate. So that might resonate with a few of you. And maybe someone just looks at it like you're putting conditions, strings attached to receiving your love, or, vice versa. It can go either way.